If you feel like you're stuck in your real estate investing journey, like you're doing all the right things, you're taking action, and you're just not getting anywhere, this might be the missing piece. A lot of people try to figure out this business on their own. They bang their head against the wall trying to figure out the same problems over and over, and then they reach a plateau. And most investors that reach that plateau aren't experiencing any growth, and then they give up and they stall out. That is exactly why we need to discuss why joining a mastermind or community might be the best thing that's ever happened to your real estate investing journey. So here's the real question. Is joining a real estate mastermind or a community actually worth it for you? Let's break it down. My name is Trevor B. West, and I've been investing in real estate for 7 years, focusing specifically on multifamily real estate. I built my business in those 7 years up to 85 doors, which is about $5 million of assets under management. With the goal of maximizing cash flow, my strategy is the BRRRR strategy: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat, which means every door that I have acquired since my business's inception has been a value add. We have renovated every single unit, and that has given us a breadth of experience because we've worked from contractors to property managers to hiring our own in-house property management team, and we've had a blast doing it. So let's jump into exactly why masterminds are probably the best move that you could make in investing in yourself, because I personally have been a part of a mastermind since 2020, and it has radically changed not just my business, but my life. Coming in right at the top, masterminds are incredibly valuable for this reason, and that is relationships. Having access to the right relationships in this business is not just a nice to have. It is the lifeblood of what makes a successful real estate investor successful. From deals to opportunities to key insights that you wouldn't have gotten investing in operating on your own. For example, one of my good friends, Dan, who I've known for years, shared with me in a 15-20 minute conversation how he hired a chief operating officer into his business, and they had 600 doors. Without buying another property, they were able to add $1 million of revenue into their business. So what does that tell me? That means refining operations, refining things internally. I don't have to scale to be bigger. I can scale to be better and bring that income into the business. So having access to the right relationships, I get to jumpstart and even take shortcuts, learning through people's mistakes and learning through their trials and errors. The second one on our list is accountability, and this one is twofold. First, masterminds and communities cost you something, not just your money, but your time as well. And when you pay attention. And where your attention goes, your growth flows. For example, the mastermind that I am in costs tens of thousands of dollars a year. And since you and I are growth-minded individuals, we do not want that money in our time to go to waste. So we are going to maximize everything that we are getting out of that group, as well as maximizing what we are giving, because we know when we give, we receive as well. Now, the second part of that is those relationships that we mentioned in our last point. They are going to hold us accountable. If you show up to a call or you show up to a meeting and somebody asks you if you've finished or continued to work on the thing that you said you were going to do and you've made no progress, they're going to call you out on that. You do not want to be the individual in the group that is not carrying their weight and doing the things that they said they're going to do. When I was going through years of my mastermind, there would be times where I would do short-term rentals for a season, and then mobile home parks, and then midterm rentals, and all these different things. And I wasn't focused and I wasn't making any progress until in a hot seat session, somebody said, dude, you're focusing on all these different things. You need to pick one and lock in. And just having that level of accountability got me moving in the right direction. I put my blinders on. I chose multifamily real estate. And that is the moment where I really started to scale my business and continue to grow. So having those layers of accountability is exactly what you need to break through the threshold, break through that ceiling, and just explode your business. Number 3 on the list is masterminds give you access to resources and real solutions. This takes the guesswork completely out of operating your business, and now you're tapping in to people who have been there and done that. Let's take the Bible, for example. The Bible is full of stories of men and women who have taken bumps and bruises along their journey. Some figured it out, some didn't. Either way, we can still glean information on how to live our lives and avoid the pitfalls that those individuals fell into. The same applies to real estate. We are getting and gleaning information from people who have taken bumps and bruises in their investing journey, and now I can extract that. So that way, when challenges inevitably come my way in the business, I sail through them instead of being weighed down by them. For example, on one of our more recent projects, we needed to install a very expensive boiler. This was an unknown cost. And Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So from the contractor that we hired to his install to our untimely failure of the relationship, everything went wrong. But instead of being bogged down by the problem that I was facing, I reached out to my mastermind community, mentors and advisors who had likely been in a situation like this, if not on a much grander scale, and they helped me smooth out that process. So instead of being weighed down by my problems and having a fixed mindset, I elevate my mindset to a growth mindset. And now that problem no longer is a burden to me, and I can still focus on operating my business at a high level. And then you add resources to that growth mindset. And resources, I mean hard assets like leases, due diligence checklists, calculators, you name it. Now, instead of having to build those from scratch, you can reach out and grab it. And that is exactly how you break off the plateau and really scale your business. And lastly, number 4, and this might be the most underrated piece of this entire video, and that is masterminds are a curated environment. When you get around people who are like-minded, growth-minded, solution-minded, it will break off the chains holding us back from real growth, because we are the average of the 5 people we share the most time with. And if I am constantly hanging out with 5 millionaires, I'll be the 6th. If I hang out with 5 alcoholics, I will be the 6th. Our environment really matters. And what that does is it elevates our standard. And I think that is a big challenge that a lot of investors face, and just individuals in business face writ large, is we need to elevate our standard. What is it we are willing to accept in our business? What level of lifestyle are we willing to accept in our life? Not that lifestyle is everything, but if we're in business and we are allocating a certain amount of time to business, we want to maximize the amounts of profits that we're making in that time, in maximizing our environment, leveraging our relationships. And I want to make sure that I say leveraging relationships doesn't mean taking advantage of people. Leveraging relationships doesn't mean I'm only in this for what I can get. As I said earlier in the video, when we give, we receive as well. Nobody likes a taker. So be somebody that adds value, but also when you receive value, take action on it. And again, that's how you're going to blow past all of your peers in this business. For example, it's not every day that I hang out with the people in my mastermind. They are from all corners of the United States. However, with technology, we can pick up the phone. Just the other day, I called my good friend Rafa. In the beauty of having an environment where you've built trust, you've added value, you've received value and taken action, I can call up my friends and have 7-figure conversations on a regular basis. And I think that's one of the most important things to do to stay sharp in business, is have those growth-minded conversations, those 7-figure conversations, because this is where masterminds really dial it up. And that's the value comes in these little conversations. The value comes from a key unlock here or just a 2 millimeter shift there. And that's where you get the key insights. That's where you get the little thing where you've just been stuck, and it opens up the floodgates. And of course, having the right environment allows you to enjoy your time in the mastermind or the community. Some of my best friends are the people that I have met in this group. Faith-minded people, faith-hearted people, and people who think like me. And that is more valuable than we could ever put a dollar amount to. At the end of the day, it's not about if masterminds work, it's about if you're in one. Are you the type of person that sees the value of investing in yourself? Because that's ultimately what it is. Joining a mastermind or a community is an investment in yourself, in your education, in your language, in your mindset, in your environment, and all the things in between that are an absolute requirement to grow and scale your business, not just for the sake of growing, but so you can achieve the time and the money freedom that we all want to enjoy out of real estate investing. If this video served you in any way, like, comment, share this video, and of course, subscribe so you can see when I drop videos every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And of course, we have a verse of the week. We are in Colossians chapter 3, verse 17, where it says, "And whatever you do in word and deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him." This hits deep because the more that I increase my faith walk, the more I increase my mindset, the more I realize that my business is a ministry. And that ministry is to serve Jesus Christ and to bring people's hearts who are far from the Father back to him. We are the light and the salt of the earth. So everything that I say, everything that I do is a reflection of my business, and my business needs to be a reflection of Christ. I need to submit myself and understand that God is the owner of my business and I am simply a manager. I am simply a steward. And when I do that, I don't have to control every aspect of my business and have to worry and stress and bring mental weight into my life, which ultimately prevents me from being the best husband that I can be, the best friend that I can be, and the best minister in the marketplace that I can be. No, I submit everything to God and I say, God, you're the owner. I'm the servant. How can I best serve you? And that's exactly what this verse is saying. So I encourage you, everything that you say, everything that you do, as Christians, it needs to be a reflection of Christ who lives in us. So God bless you and God speed.